What if the very thing you are proud of, your intelligence, your ability to think deeply, is secretly the reason your life isn't moving? Think about that. The smartest organ in your body, the human brain, has the terrifying ability to build a prison without walls. A prison made of what-ifs. What if this fails? What if people judge me? What if I'm not ready? And before you realize it, weeks become months, and your dreams are still sitting in your notebook. Today, you're going to learn something life-changing, a hidden principle called action-first architecture. And to understand it, you need to hear the story of a man who spent 5 years preparing for a life he never started. His name was Leo. Leo looked successful, organized desk, dozens of books about productivity, color-coded planners. But behind the scenes, Leo was the architect of invisible cities. Cities he designed, but never built. His dream was simple: start a small design agency. But Leo had 15 logo designs for different business plans, 100 draft emails. But one thing was missing: clients, actual work, real progress. Leo spent hours watching tutorials, reading articles, optimizing productivity systems. Yet every night, he closed his laptop with the same heavy feeling. Nothing had changed. Let me ask you something honestly. Right now, are you preparing to start? Or are you hiding inside preparation? Because those two things look identical until 5 years pass. Overthinking is exhausting, not physically, but mentally. Your brain simulates problems that haven't happened yet. Your mind rehearses conversations that may never occur. You replay decisions over and over like a broken movie scene. Leo wasn't lazy. In fact, he felt busy all the time. But his life looked like an unpainted canvas. The ideas were there. The vision was there. But the brush never touched the surface. And the longer he waited, the heavier the brush felt. Pause for a moment. Think about one idea you've been thinking about for months. Now ask yourself this question: are you afraid of failing? Or afraid of being seen trying? One afternoon, Leo sat near the city's oldest stone bridge. A bridge built nearly 70 years ago. Massive stone arches. Still standing. Still strong. Next to him sat an old man named Elias. Elias had been one of the engineers who built it. Leo pointed at the bridge. That must have required perfect planning. Elias laughed, not politely, but deeply. The plans were wrong within the first week, he said. Leo blinked. What? The soil was unstable. We had to redesign everything. Leo frowned. Then how did it work? Elias smiled. Because we started digging. Here's a truth most people never realize. Plans are guesses. Action is information. Without action, you are solving imaginary problems. Elias reached into his bag. He placed 2 objects on the bench, a small cup and a large vase. Your mind is the cup, Elias said. Leo looked confused. And your potential is the vase. He poured water into the cup. It overflowed instantly. This is overthinking. Too many ideas. Too many possibilities. Too much pressure. Then Elias poured water slowly into the vase. It held everything calmly. The vase doesn't control every drop, Elias said. It simply allows a flow. Leo sat silently. For the first time, he wondered if his problem wasn't lack of intelligence, but too much thinking and too little doing. Let's test something. What if the real reason you're stuck is not lack of talent, but fear disguised as analysis? Elias drew a line in the sand. Here's how the brain works, he said. Starting something costs 100 units of energy, but continuing something costs 10 units. That's why the beginning feels impossible. But once you start, momentum takes over. Think of a car engine in winter. It struggles. Then suddenly, it runs smoothly. Leo realized something shocking. The hardest part of his dream was simply opening the door. Try this experiment tomorrow. Pick the task you've been avoiding. Work on it for only 10 minutes. That's it. Your brain can survive 10 minutes. But what usually happens is something surprising. You keep going. Elias handed Leo a small card. Use this whenever your brain starts spinning. The card had 3 questions. 1. Is this decision reversible? Most decisions aren't permanent. You can change them later. 2. Can I test it in 10 minutes? If yes, stop thinking and start testing. 3. Will this give me real data? Because thinking gives opinions, but action gives evidence. Leo stared at the card. For the first time, overthinking had an opponent. Let's try the filter right now. Think about something you're stuck on. Ask yourself, is this permanent? Or am I just acting like it is? Elias told Leo something powerful. Stop trying to build the forest. Plant the seed. Most people want transformation overnight. New career, perfect business, massive success. But success rarely begins with giant leaps. It begins with microscopic progress. Leo went home that night. He didn't open 50 tabs. He didn't redesign his business plan. He did one thing. He sent one email to one potential client. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And when he pressed send, something strange happened. The fear shrank. Think about this. Your brain fears imaginary failure, but real action usually proves the fear wrong. So the question becomes, are you afraid of failure? Or afraid of discovering it wasn't that scary? The next morning, the voice returned. That email was terrible. They won't reply. Maybe you should rethink everything. But Leo remembered the first mile principle. Every new journey feels wrong in the beginning. Your brain hates uncertainty. It prefers the safety of the known, even if the known is mediocrity. So Leo did the same thing again. 10 minutes of action. Another email. Another small step. The wilderness of uncertainty slowly began to shrink. Quick recap. 3 rules so far. Start with 10 minutes. Focus on 1% progress. And remember, the first mile always lies. 30 days later, Leo's life looked different. Not perfect, but real. 3 small clients. Actual work. Real feedback. Real experience. And something unexpected happened. The overthinking faded. Not because he forced it away, but because action replaced imagination. He realized something profound. He was never lazy. He was simply trapped in a habit of thinking instead of doing. Ask yourself this honestly. What if the life you want is only 30 days of small actions away? Not perfect actions, just consistent ones. Your overthinking is not a personality flaw. It's a learned survival habit. Your brain believes hesitation keeps you safe. But safety and fulfillment rarely live in the same place. Right now, you're standing on the edge of your own empty lot. You can spend another year designing the blueprint, or you can pick up the shovel. Start the first stone, send the first message, take the first step, because the bridge you want to cross is built the same way every bridge in history was built. One messy stone at a time. And the moment you begin, the prison of overthinking starts to crack. Your future is not waiting for perfect thinking. It's waiting for imperfect action. So set the timer. 10 minutes. Start now and step onto the bridge. Before you leave, I want to ask you one question. What is the one thing you've been overthinking for months? Comment 10 minutes if you're going to start today. Because the moment you move, everything changes. And someone reading your comment might finally find the courage to start too.